Okay, so let's see where we are at the end of the first meditation. If you recall from my first video, Descartes has torn down everything. Remember, he imagined an evil demon which has deceived him about anything, including his experiences, the empirical experiences, the experience of the world, logic, mathematics, even his own body. He's been left in universal doubt, right? But he still has a plan. If you recall, the plan was, if I could find even one belief that that demon cannot make false, no matter what, that belief will be the first foundation of certain knowledge. This meditation that we're looking at right now, meditation 2, is the search for that foundation. Let's see where he begins in the second meditation, right? This is a man who's completely lost. He's like floating in deep water with nothing solid around him, right? Yet he must try. He has a rule that he must follow. He has to reject everything that admits of the slightest of doubt until he finds a straw that he can hang on to. He turns inwards, and that is where he finds the first glimmer of certainty. And he tells himself, even if there's an all-powerful deceiver, one thing remains certain. In order to be deceived, I must exist. इस पे ज़रा गौर कीजिए आप. So, I'm the one who's being deceived. What the deceiver cannot undo is this certain feeling of I, right? I who's being deceived. I who's the one who doubts everything. I am the one who doubts my senses. I am the one who doubts my body. So every act of doubting, denying, imagining, or feeling is itself a form of thinking. In Latin, we will call it cogitare. And for thinking to occur, there must be a thinker. This is something indubitable, right? So he therefore concludes, I think, therefore I am. Okay, I am, I exist. Cogito ergo sum, as it's put in the Latin, right? Descartes has demolished everything but I who thinks things, right? And then he doesn't stop here. He says, all right, so for how long do I exist? I exist, because I think. But for how long? And the answer to that is for as long as I am thinking. Okay? And if I stop thinking, then I cannot even affirm my existence. So the existence certainly underline that, certainly depends on the presence of consciousness, not on the presence of my body. Okay, so that is where he places the essence of self-knowledge. He realizes that he knows the mind immediately and indubitably, while everything else he knows only through ideas about those things, right? And this kind of leads to a new rule, which is that you first must have the mind before you can have a body, right? So the mind is known certainly, more certainly than the body itself, right? So in other words, perception of external things presupposes a perceiving mind. And so we can say the self is epistemically prior to the world that it perceives. So before we end this video, let's look at the logical structure of the second meditation. In terms of the guiding questions that Descartes is posing and then answering in this meditation. And so he asks, is there anything indubitable? And his answer is yes, the act of thinking itself. Then he's like, what am I? And the answer is a thinking thing, a mind. Okay. Then he asks, do I know my body? And the answer is not yet. The body could be an illusion. Then he asks, how do I know physical things? And his answer is through consciousness, not senses. And finally, his question is, what is better known, the mind or body? And his answer is mind, because knowing the body requires thinking it. Okay. And that's where the second meditation ends. So I hope you'll be able to digest and assimilate some of the things that have been talked about in this video before we move on to the third meditation. Thank you.